Hello, everybody. Welcome. On the 23rd of December, just after the solstice and just before the new year, we've got a new moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. So the energies are shifting from Jupiter, Sagittarian energy, expansion, growth, exploring, unlimited possibilities. And we're moving into the energy of Saturn, which is all about living within limits, certain boundaries, certain restrictions. And Saturn was, in fact, the father of Jupiter. And Saturn, coming apparently from the Latin word serere, which means to sow. And so often we associate Saturn with sowing seeds, S-O-W, and Saturn rules karma, consequences of actions. It's where we learn about consequences. So this is why this is the time of year where we make New Year's resolutions. We come into this Saturn Capricorn energy where we say, right, I've gone over the top. I've maybe eaten a little too much, or maybe drunk a little too much, or spent a little too much. And now I realize I've gone to an extreme and I need to pull myself in. And the big aspect that's going on at the time of this new moon, Sun and Moon, of course, in Capricorn, is it's square to Jupiter. So Jupiter in Aries. So the frequency here is Jupiter Aries says, I will do what I want to do. And I don't care what anybody else says. This is what I'm going to do. And Sun and Moon in Capricorn say, but do you realize that there are consequences for these actions? Maybe you're going to buy a piece of real estate that's out of your range, your price range. You're going into too much debt. Maybe you're rushing into a new relationship and not really looking at what the possible consequences might be. You may be changing job or country in order to be near a person. So there's a certain recklessness here to this Jupiter in Aries. It can also be greedy, wanting more. And here we have the Saturn energy, which is right. Where do I need to bring myself into line? The opposite sign to Capricorn is Cancer. So always opposites are activated. And Cancer is ruled by the moon. And when the moon is in Capricorn, this is time where we've got to be adults. We've got to say, I'm responsible for my actions here. So this is very much somebody who's born with moon in Capricorn or with a strong Saturn in the chart is often somebody who's an old head on young shoulders, very responsible as a child. So it's about looking with new eyes. It's a new moon at what responsibilities and disciplines would be valuable for me to embrace for the new year, i.e., what are your New Year's resolutions? The Dalai Lama said, a disciplined mind leads to happiness, and an undisciplined mind leads to suffering. So Mercury, ruler of the mental energy at this time, is in Capricorn. In fact, we've got a ton of energy of Capricorn, okay? Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury and Pluto all together in the energy of Capricorn. So we're dealing with structures here. What new structures could you put into place that would serve you well? And what's crumbling? What are the things that are not serving you well anymore? And it could be something physical. For me, it's been my Auntie Jenny. She fell off her swivel chair, 100 years old. If you fall off a high-up swivel chair on your back, I mean, she just said, God must have put a cushion there for me because she didn't break a bone. She banged her head and she said her knees are still sore because she had to get herself up, and she's not a lightweight woman at all. She's rather Jupiterian, quite heavy. But anyway, being very grateful. So this is an energy of embracing the abundance of gratitude for the blessings in your life, and then looking at the higher order of things. Saturn reminds us that it's not just about you, I, me, and myself, that we're part of a larger reality. There are limits to certain things. There are limits to how much food you can eat. There are limits as to how long you can hold your breath. There are limits as to how long you can stay awake without sleep. So it's about looking at these intelligent limits and reining in your sense pleasures, the things that you're drawn to that give you instant gratification, like watching the television, like phoning up a friend, but might not bring you the deep inner soul happiness that this energy can now trigger. We've got 6 in earth signs, so this is about being very practical. Get your finances in order. Get your practical world in order. I've got a lot of sorting out to do. I keep putting it off because there's always so many things to do. But yes, that's one of my resolutions, is to just get things sorted out. Because I'm living in a quite a small space over the winter. So I really have to be careful with what I can take and what I can't. So it's about bringing simplicity into your life. There's a great quote here, an anonymous quote. Simplicity is not about deprivation. Simplicity is about a greater appreciation for the things that truly matter. So if you look at it that way, you might be more inclined to simplify your life. The other thing about Saturn is about saying no, right? It's often easy to say maybe. Paulo Coelho says, don't say maybe if you want to say no. If you must say yes, say it with an open heart. If you must say no, say it without fear. That's this cardinal energy. Not being fearful, being brave, and really, as Pythagoras says, the oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. So think carefully before you take on maybe too much. Half the troubles of this life can be traced to saying yes too quickly, which is the Jupiter in Aries, and no, not soon enough, which is the Capricorn, all this Capricorn energy. So get practical, get into nature. That's why I did a t-shirt that I think reflects a nature energy, money sorted, simplicity, and above all, it works with integrity. Capricorn is very much about integrity. So it's realizing the consequences of all your actions. There are many scams out there right now. I did get scammed with the medication that I wanted to get for my auntie. Sadly, it was a scam and they did steal the money. Okay, just be extra careful. Be on your guard for things that, if they smell fishy, they probably are fishy. So this is a wonderful time with Mercury in retrograde, with Mars in retrograde as we move into this new year and at the time of the new moon, for inner reflection, for finding the peaceful, quiet place inside of you. Writing is good at this time. Solitude is good. Silence is good. And just keeping things straightforward. Not going round houses. If you really want to say no, say no. And I love the word for no in Greek. Orchi. Orchi. It's really, what do you mean? Orchi. So you can play with that. But play with that. Because Sometimes it can be hard to do. I know not all of you find it difficult to say no, but I think a lot of us do, because it takes quite a lot of bravery to do that sometimes. But it keeps your life simple if you say it soon enough. So I'm looking forward to hear, what are your new resolutions? What are the things you're resolving to do that will make your life cleaner, easier, more productive, more useful? Because Capricorn energy is all about achieving and doing something valuable and useful. So what seeds are you planning to sow? Much love to you. Happy New Year to you. Happy solstice. And thank you for all your comments, for all the wonderful things that you say, the liking, the commenting, the sharing, my Patreon supporters, and just the general beautiful energy that you bring. Remember, this is your time to shine your light and to do practical, good things for other people. This is the season of goodwill. It's activated even more at this time of year. So really set that in motion at the time of a new moon with something practical that you can do that would be nice for somebody. It might be sending them a little gift. It might be a nice little note. It might be sending them a package of food or a cake or whatever it is, but do it something that's tangible and practical. Bye for now.